Rick Dollar here for the Rick Dollar Show. And if you can't get us on our local and global affiliates, please just hit the old iHeartRadio app and pop up the Rick Dollar Show. Hopefully, you won't see a picture of me. My guest today is Mr. Jamie Grascal Johnson from the Grascals. Jamie.
Hey, Rick.
What's going on, buddy?
Man, just you and I today, bud. Just hanging out and enjoying a good afternoon here.
Yeah, man, I appreciate that a whole bunch. Hey, now I want to kind of clear something up here. You did you actually make your middle name Grascal Johnson?
No, no, sir.
Oh, man, that would be slick. Let me tell you.
Just for identity only. You know, that other rascal with the big old beard and the hit country songs came around, and most people know me as a Grascal anyway. Not and anytime the name Jamie Johnson comes up, his name comes up too. I mean, not his name, but I mean his identification. So just to make it easier on folks, it's Jamie Grascal. So,
yeah, exactly.
But it's actually James Edward Johnson. That is my actual
there
name.
We go then, folks. Write all that down.
Yeah.
Now, this is the 20th year that the Grascals have been around, tromping around across the country and the world and everything else that you guys have done. How many records are we looking at over that 20-year period?
Oh, my goodness. Well, I was gone for a little over 8 years, so I don't know what they did in between them, but this will be the one coming up right now will be my 8th, I believe.
Wow. There you go. And you've written quite a few songs. Believe me, I looked up your information.
Yeah.
I was like, whoa.
yeah. I would never be able to guess how many. But yeah, I've been very blessed, and the Grascals were, a great support system for me, and let me express my lyrics and musical capabilities through them, and let us record several of the tunes I've written over the years.
Right. Yeah. You're no slouch when it comes to that. Let me tell you, son. I mean, it's amazing to me, how much of life you can pour into a song, and wow, you got to be you're wearing it thin at this point, man. You've sang about everything. Let me tell you.
Yeah. Now, yeah. It's there's a lot of songs that you just try and do your best to create a different way to say the same old subject. Love is love, and to be able to come up with something different, and a lot of times you don't, Rick. That's just the honest truth. It's a numbers game. You got to keep doing it. There's some of my songs that I think are the best ones that have never been cut, and people just don't get moved the way I get moved by it. Yeah, and exactly. I'm okay with that. You gotta get callous skin and the calloused feelings, as far as don't wear them on your shoulder. It's not everybody's cup of tea. Same way with my singing. My dancing for sure, not everybody likes it. So, and that's part of it. But I'm grateful that a lot of my tunes have been accepted, and people know some of them. That's the name of the game.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Yeah, believe me, it's out there, no doubt about it. Now, let's talk about the Grascals a second. We've got you in the group, John Bryan, Terry Smith, Danny Roberts, Kristen Scott Benson, and Jamie Harper. I mean, this is like one of those, and there again, I mean, I was talking to somebody else earlier today, and these words supergroup has, been thrown around for quite a few years, but man, there are a couple out there that really deserve that label, and you guys are one of them.
Wow. To still be in the dance this, long in our career, I cannot take credit for the group staying together, because I left for a while. But to celebrate 20 years as a group, that's pretty awesome. And to be able for all of them to keep the group together, and the caliber of the level of talent that's come through this band. There haven't been a ton of people in the band, really. I mean, we started off with the original 6. Mm-hmm. And since then, I believe on banjo, we've had just only two replacements, Aaron McDarris and then Kristen. That's been it. The original was David Talbot. And then mandolin's been one guy. Bass has been one guy. Then you move to the two lead singers who both took hiatuses. But you've got in my position, you've got me and John Bryan, and then me again. Where he moved over to Terry's slot. It was Terry Eldridge and now, and then Chris Davis, and then that. So the biggest move we've had would be on fiddle. It was originally Jimmy Mattingly, and then Jeremy Abshire was there he was there for probably good 6 years or so. And then Adam Haynes and now Jamie Harper. So there's been 4 fiddlers total. So,
wow.
But to find somebody to fit, man, it's really moving so smooth right now. I would absolutely be devastated to make a change. The personalities are right there together. Everybody works hard. We got a great unit, and musically it just couldn't get, I'm not saying we're the best, but for us, for what we do, it's as tight as it can get. It feels really good.
Well, it just seems to me that it's rock solid, and like you're saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's kind of something my grandfather used to tell me all the time. I can't line up all of the awards, I mean, that you guys have been involved in as far as IBMA and everywhere else. I mean, I started counting earlier, and I was like, man, that's going to take up like half the interview. You guys don't play around. You're very serious musicians, and that's what it takes for the longevity that you guys are showing, of course. Now, this new tune, Just Let Me Know. Can you give me a little bit of a backstory on that one about who wrote it, or maybe how it came about?
Charles, golly, now I'm never going to think. Charles used to play with. I'm stuck. I know Darren Nicholson and Charles. I cannot think of Charles' last name. But we just since then wrote a song together, us three. But that song there, the same day, they pretty much wrote it. Darren posted it because he believed in it.
Wow.
And he just posted it for fun, just to put it out there. And I grabbed it immediately. I heard it. Just was a very cool groove. It reminded me of John Bryan, and the style of what he sings. A love song. Just a good message, and it mainly for me, it was the message, the groove, and in my head, what I thought the harmonies could do, and it's a rare occasion where I'm singing tenor on this one. It used to be my job was singing tenor, and when you got to sing by John Bryan, let him sing tenor. He got a really high voice, and I thought I didn't think I would like that at first because I had to learn a whole new part. I wasn't a natural singer of any parts. Like Terry Smith can sing anything. He's like a chameleon, and he's amazing that way. And he taught me and helped me, and so I'm now singing the tenor, the lead, the baritone. I'm doing it all, and it's because of this lineup that had to go that way. And I'm not great at it yet, but and I probably won't get, but I've gotten a whole lot better. And it's just really, but this song was a perfect example of that. But actually, this song is the one that jumped back to the original way. I sang high parts and felt pretty good to still be able to do it.
I love the tune. It's great. It's going places, no doubt about that. Now, just
Steep Canyon Rangers. Charles played with Steep Canyon Rangers. That was it. Dang. Now I'll get to his last name too here soon.
Now, yeah, we'll get it before it's over with. One thing that I really have a ton of respect for you for, Jamie, is you're very transparent about your personal life, your past, everything, and I think it's turned into such a positive thing for a whole lot of people that are either in the music business, or people that are having a little something going on in their life. And it's always good to see a great story out there. And I mean, sobriety is something that's hard to accomplish sometimes for a lot of people. But when you have somebody of your caliber stepping forward and saying, "Hey, look, you know, this is how I did it," or "This is what I'm going through," or "This is what I think is happening with me." Um, that is something very, very special. And you should, I mean, I know I'm not handing out awards here for something like that, but geez Louise, man, that's what it takes sometimes to make a difference in somebody else's life, you know? I mean, I'll just say
Yeah.
that.
It is a program that I work, a 12-step program of sobriety that it takes rigorous honesty.
Mhm.
Um, Without that, you don't have a very good start. And that is the foundation of everything. And it is not about me getting any recognition whatsoever. I am recognizing them with still yet being anonymous, because that's how it was built.
Mhm.
This is not a bragging thing at all. It is
Mm.
about being extremely grateful for the life that I have been given, and that was spared for me. It's a time and time again. I don't know how many times I shouldn't be here. A lot of us in different ways, but
Sure.
uh, it's something where addiction comes in. Um, there's a root cause to it,
Mhm.
because a lot of people have seen it in their past. They've never touched it, and I admire that. I wished I hadn't either, but
Mhm.
then again, I'm grateful that I did, because I'm pretty sure uh, the other Jamie was a pretty good guy no matter what. But I had a lot of issues going on
Mhm.
underneath that caused me to maybe not be a better person.
Mhm.
And by getting the addiction going, the mental illness, and when I say mental illness, when people hear that, to me, I think they think, oh, they're sick, or they're crazy.
Mm-mm.
I just
No, no.
mean it's a depression. It's a depression thing. It's handling
Exactly.
pressure differently than others, and it causes you to isolate yourself, and everybody acts differently in it. So that mental disorder that I had going on, let alone bringing on the drinking, which at first in my mind I thought I didn't have a problem with it. I thought it just helped.
Exactly.
Sing a song, get on stage,
I've
feel
been there,
better.
man. I know what you're talking
And,
about.
and, and so it worked until it didn't, and that was pretty quick that if I figured out that I had a problem. But danged if I was ever going to let anybody know, because I was a Grascal. We were successful. I had things to do, and I had a family at home, and things were going really good for me. I'm a hard worker and pretty smart kid, and figured a lot of things out. I wasn't never the best picker, never the best singer, never the best writer, but I was in a group that was at the top,
Mhm.
and I was a big part of that. So I was not going to let anything get in my way of that. And we have this thing, fear. We've got egos. As a young kid in sports and stuff, I rode the bench a lot.
Mhm.
I worked really hard just to get on the court for a few minutes, or on the field for a few minutes, and I was the fastest runner ever when I got on there. And I got awarded my senior year most improved on the team, and that just really made me mad. My buddies laughed. You don't get a
Mhm.
patch for most improved, and that same attitude got me to where I got. And when I got there, I felt like I turned into a most valuable, which I never was before. And when that, to me, and that mindset came in, all of that effort that I gave to be most improved went to most valuable, and my ego went through the roof. I thought everybody was there for me. It was an honest mistake, because I'd never had that kind of success,
Mhm.
and it just turned me into a different person. And then you add alcohol, and you add not being honest about things. Lies get bigger. It'll get easier to say. Then very unattractive, and it happened. As I say, it was a very long scenic route to get to a better me. Wasn't intentional, but it happened, and I truly believe that journey was the one I needed to take to get to this Jamie sitting in front of you, who's back to being just the most improved, and I'm okay with that. I'm not the tallest, I'm not the fastest, I'm not the best. I'm just a pretty good me, and I'm absolutely 100% willing to help somebody else get to that better version of them, because somebody had to answer my call when I said, okay, I give.
Mm-hmm.
I'll shut up. I'll set everything down and I'll listen to you. And I followed these folks in this 12-step program. And some of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life are those folks. And they walked me out of that storm and got me back to a much brighter days.
Man, that's awesome to hear. God, what a story, dude.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
You should write a book about this, man. I mean, I think what you've had to deal with, and just going along in the whole process of starting out in music, and some guys just start out in music and they get lost and they just never go where you've gone. But you took a lot of positive steps to make things better for yourself, and now you're able to get that word out to other people. And I just want you to know that is something that you need to be proud of. You're helping out a whole lot with people that may not even be in the spotlight, or people may not know that they have an issue. And like I said, it could be anything from a psychological issue to addiction with drugs or alcohol. So kudos to you, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Rick.
I've always wanted to get to you and just talk to you about that a little bit, and just let you know how much that has helped other people.
Good. Yeah, that's it needs to be. It needs to be.
It does.
I'm grateful for that. Absolutely.
Hey, we're grateful for you, man. I tell you what kind of schedule are you looking like this year with the old Grascals there? I know
this go round, when I decided to come back in the band, and it wasn't going to be my call by any means. We were playing the Opry, and they asked me to fill in, and I hadn't been down there for 8 years. And when I got back on that stage, it was just it was a good way to coach me back in the band, because that got me going. The juice is flowing. There's no better stage on this planet. My family was there with me, and my son seen how happy I was. He'd only seen me as a little boy on the Opry. And as he was 14 years old, he saw what it did for me, and he said, "Man, you should go back, Dad, and finish what you started." And my wife gave me the blessing, and she said, "As long as you're comfortable and it's what you want to do, otherwise, don't. We love you being home." And because I've got a great daytime job, and I've got an incredible job at Morgan Steel that I work, and they support me, and I do very well for them as well. So. I got the approval and told the guys, okay, I'll give it a shot, but I do not want to go down the 7,500, 150 dates a year, or just find somebody else, because I love you and I'll fill in all I can. But I don't want to put that on me again, ever. That was just too much. And that turns into no different than me going out and digging a ditch every day. I wouldn't want to do that 50 to 75 days either. So anyway, 50 days is the limit. That's our magic number. And we're up, we got 36 or 7 confirmed right now, and it'll wind up being 50. And then that's when we just approach it. Is it going to be worth our time? Because 20 years is a big deal, and don't want to cut people off. And I want to be appreciative, and all of us want to be appreciative of being somebody who wants us to come play music for them still. Because there's not as many as there used to be. When you had the 150 to 200 dates, there's a lot of people wanting to see you come out and play.
Oh, yeah.
And here, I think with the less dates, I think we're better. We're not super young anymore. I was the baby when we started 20 years ago, and I am going to be 52 this go round. So,
oh my gosh.
And I'm in the middle of the pack. There's some younger and some older, and I think it's just Terry Smith's at the point where he doesn't want to grab that bass and just jump on and let's go ride across the country for a 1-hour show and drive all the way back. So we're just having fun, playing some really cool shows. We'll be doing the Opry some more this year, and making the most of it. Get this album, support it. We're really excited about it. We go in next week to finish. This week coming up, we'll be in there the 4 days to finish.
Wow.
And it'll be my first album I get to be a part of in 9 years, and maybe almost 10. And
you got a title for that thing yet?
No. We just got the first 2 singles, and we've got about like 4 or 5 more in the can, and then we're going to do like 6 more. So be about 12 songs, and man, I don't care what they call it. To be honest, Rick, just get it out there and let's go with this thing.
Man, and it shocks me. You're talking numbers about dates and things like that you guys are doing. It's You've built something that will allow you to do 50, 75 dates a year and still be so relevant in this genre of music.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not everybody can pull that off.
Yeah.
you know
Well, I think that's the talent, the knowledge. Terry Smith with all the level, the people he's played with, Jimmy Martin, he's seen the best. Monroe,
Mhm.
the Osborne brothers, Dolly Parton, Mike Schneider. I mean, Terry Smith is an originator. He's a legend. You follow people's lead like that. Don't question them too much. Same way with Danny Roberts. He's been around for years. I've been around
Oh
on,
yeah.
time or two myself. And you got, you know, the person on banjo, probably one of the most awarded banjo players in history, of Kristen Scott Benson. You
Yeah.
take those, you take their value and you put it all together. And John Bryan with his very unique high voice, more of a, to me, kind of a Doyle Lawson. He's not really. It's not a sound of what the original Grascals were,
Mhm.
and that to me is the key. There's no need to try and be. It's not going to ever happen again, in my opinion. That group was awesome. We
Yeah.
weren't perfect either. We just went with what we knew. And man, the key is you stand up there, entertain, have fun. Learn that from Dolly from very early on. She said, give them your heart and soul, and they'll give it right back.
Mhm.
And that was behind the curtain before it opened. We approached the stage with Dolly Parton's what she told us. And that's how we've approached this thing. And be willing to change. That is success in life, period. You adapt to the situation.
Mhm.
Um, if it's a somber crowd, don't go out there and try and wit them with your humor, and you know, get out there and sing the show and have fun. And if it's a rowdy crowd, we'll get out there and do some rowdy things with them. And the key is entertain, smile, have fun. If you're not having fun, like I did the last time, go to the house.
That's
I,
it.
I bet I threatened. I bet I threatened to quit for a year or two, and I bet they were so glad when I finally got out of there. They was like, "I'm tired of hearing him saying I'm quitting. Go home if you're not having fun." And that's why this time go around we are just absolutely having fun. And I've never laughed as hard as I'm laughing.
Yeah.
And I'm never getting out of the sprinter or the bus or whatever we're in and pretending with a smile. I truly mean it.
Yeah.
I'm here for a good time.
Man, I bet there's some good stories. You're throwing out some names there a minute ago. I can only imagine what
Oh
those,
my God.
especially the Jimmy Martin stories, man. I'm from Bristol, Tennessee, and we, everybody up and down State Street has a Jimmy Martin story.
Yes. He's got some doozies. Terry Smith's got some great ones.
I bet.
Uh, and Monroe stories, ones that he's the one should
Yeah,
write a book. And the Osborne brothers. Oh my gosh, he's got a million of them.
that's crazy.
It'll keep you laughing and doubled over. He and Terry Elders truly should
They
write a book,
should.
of just memories.
Yeah.
That the characters they were characters. Melvin Goins.
Mhm.
Um, the Ralph Stanley. I'm not talking about on stage. I'm talking about off
Oh,
stage.
eating dinner after the show. That was the thing.
Yes, there's the real stories, and it's ones that we're still repeating.
Joel
Um,
told me a
and,
story one time about Ralph. He said that he played with Ralph a few shows. Nothing solid with him yet. Said all of a sudden Ralph just threw his fork down. He said, "Lawson, outside." He thought, "Oh my God, I'm going to get beat up by Ralph Stanley." So he walked outside, and that's when he offered him a job.
wow, yeah, that's the good
He
stuff.
scared Dole to
A
death.
big change, wasn't it? Yeah, and them guys are mean, man. Bobby Osborne, I'd never want to make that guy mad. And he loved ice cream. That's one thing I can share. Every truck stop they went, Bobby would go in there and he would find that ice cream freezer and find a little quart of ice cream and sit there and eat the whole thing, man.
Wow.
Yeah, I
I'm
wished I
telling
could
you
have
what.
another pint of ice cream with Bobby Osborne.
Man, I made Bobby mad one night at the Paramount Theater in Bristol. I was interviewing him backstage, and I said, "Well, Bobby, what do you think about the big change in music and all that stuff? You know, this kind of a more progressive sound that we're starting. It's been a few years back." And he just said, "I don't like it." And he turned his head, and I'm over here, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
"Oh my God, I've made Bobby Osborne mad at me, and I've not been doing this long enough to do this." But then he's one of those guys, man. He would come back and explain everything that he just
Hmm.
told you. So
Oh man,
what a
you
fella
know,
he was, man. God.
he was the best. There was a guy called him Bob one night, and
Oh.
he was already mad and agitated at him. And he said, "That's Bobby, B-O-B," and said F and Y. He
And you
spelled it
just said
wrong.
it like you said it, probably.
Yeah, he said, and he spelled his name wrong, even B-O-B-F and Y. He forgot the other B in it, but he was so mad, man. Anyway, there's a million stories. Anyway,
Oh man. Well, dude, I know you've had a long day. I'm gonna let you go.
all right, Rick, I
We've had a
appreciate
lot of
you.
fun with you guys, man. And we are you guys gonna be at Pigeon Forge this year?
You know, I don't think so, unless we're there for Lorraine's festival. The other show's already booked,
Oh, is it
and
really?
I don't think
Okay.
we're on that list.
Oh, okay.
It said the best in Bluegrass, and I didn't see our name. I, well, maybe not this year. No,
Uh-oh.
it's okay. There's plenty of room. There's plenty of stages to hit, and we'll hit them, and
Oh
hopefully we'll be
yeah.
back to Pigeon Forge real soon. But
Oh yeah.
I'm
We'll
looking forward to
catch up
seeing you.
with you out
Thank
there on the
you,
road somewhere.
Rick. Thank you for what you do for our music.
Thank you,
We
Jamie. We
need we
appreciate
need
you, buddy.
we need folks just like you, and grateful for what you've done so
Oh
far,
man, no
and
problem.
we'll continue to do.
All right, man. I appreciate you a whole bunch. Hey,
Yeah,
everybody, for Rick Dollar, uh, Jamie Grascal Johnson sitting right there with me, man.
in the flesh.
In the flesh. See you soon.
See you, buddy.
See ya.